Okay, I think everything should be online. Hopefully for the most part. I had a little technical difficulty with the chat. I won't be able to chop later. But if I went best to. Yep. Thanks, Docs. I was gonna try to be there today to see if I can get a box from Festival from Festival Booster for the shop, but we'll see. I probably won't be able to join the tournament though today if there is one. It's so dark in here. There ain't really nothing I can do about it. But thanks for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. Just supporting. This shouldn't be too long of a stream. For me just going over all the cards. Specifically for Lyrical, but I mean I might talk about the OT and the OTs and the front. I mean in the orders as well. But normally I would have done this way earlier if Bushy just released the card list like way before. But they're like, no. I'll open one with 2 boxes so far. Really? What did you pull? I'm interested to see what you pull so far. Like if I have the money or if my car goes through, I'll get one if it's not too expensive. But I would have done this stream like a lot earlier like I did in the past, but they just didn't release the card list for some reason. And they released it on Friday. I'm like, well, now it's too late, but better late than never. So oh, you got Wilista. Nice. Oh, and Loronerol too? The blue OT as well? Nice. Oh, you got Wilista's order as well. That's pretty good. From 2 boxes? That's really good. The order of Wilista is really they have a pretty decent price. Which is pretty good, I would say. I've been looking on TCG. But I'm glad your pulls went well. If I do get one, I hope I just get like something from Felty. That's all I'm really hoping for. I didn't bring my jacket up here. I did not. Oh well. I'll just go with the flow. I'm gonna build Loro. Is sell Wilista. Just wanted to. I want the new Clarissa stuff. Yeah, Clarissa's okay. I'll talk. I mean, if you are going to listen to the stream, I'll be talking about the bosses and pretty much like what I think about each one of them. But I do want to get Loro as well, like build a Loro. It's been past 5 minutes. Okay. Now it's a bit too loud. Cool. The stream won't be too long. Just because like there's not a lot of cards to go over in the first place. And I'm already reviewed like almost all the cards but like the triggers. So this stream will be on YouTube for anyone else who is gonna miss the stream. So I'll separate them into different timestamps for you guys to just watch, and we'll just go over the entire set for Lyrical with the orders and stuff. So alright, so let's get it started. This is Festival Booster 2023. Unless we get any more Festival Boosters. I'm going to review in the Lyrical Monasterio section as well as some orders. So we're going to go through by boss and then generic cards and etc. stuff. So first let's just go through like all the generic cards in the set. So first off, we have our 4 new triggers. They're sort of like reprints, but they're not really a reprint. We got our generic heal trigger, our front trigger, our draw trigger, and our critical trigger. So Yeah, that's pretty much it with those. We got this will help Petrarca, especially with getting more different types of triggers and premium. This helps if anyone's still playing like Federica, I guess. This helps her to have more names and just to be more consistent with your skills. So first off with like the generic support, we have perfect tailoring, croquet. I'm not ready for Petrarca to be better because Matt's gonna bully me. Yeah, whenever we get that other promo, Petrarca's gonna get a lot better. So, this grade 1, grade 1, 8k power, 5k shield, and she has one ability. Auto 1 is units placed on rigor circle, cost Camros 1. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with the dress up ability from among them. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. So this card, I know I said in my video, I don't think it's going to be that useful right now just because space is so clumped up. But now since like they revealed Herminia Fortia having new dress up units, I think this will be more important as we go down and getting more dress up units. Like we might get Kyoka dressed up, a Letitia dressed up, just the girls getting another form, and just having this a generic double R that just searches for your persona rides is going to be very strong in the future. As of right now, I don't think like there's enough room, nor like it has the right name and race to be able to be splashed into different decks. More so like most of the decks except like Alestiel will have the ability to just search it or just draw into it. I was gonna say like we get set with new dress ups. Yeah, pretty much. This is for like when we get new dress ups in the future. There's there's like 2 more generics. No, there's 3. Okay, here we go. Yep. Next we have this grade 2 10k 5k shield. Find it Undux Taurus La Planca? Yeah. I remember I tried to pronounce her name before. It was just horrible. So she has one ability, Auto Rigor Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you Persona Roll this turn, cost Camros 1, choose it to 2 of your other rear guards, return it to hand, and this unit gets 1000 power to the end of battle. Flawless, French, A+. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a French name. So for this double R, she's not going to see use quite yet. I think she will have more use like in the future, or when we get like a deck that can Persona Ride consistently, or just Persona Ride and have room for this. Now this could be interesting in like Persona Ride Kairi, or if Kairi ever gets a dress up unit, I think this would be like a very good unit just because it's on attack, get 20k, and it bounces 2 rear guards in your hand. So you're not technically plussing when you're bouncing cards in Kairi, unless you drew a card from it. But in other decks like Kyoka, right? If you don't have Yuika, this is like another way to get cards back. You could bounce back your Restander, your booster, and you're able to like pseudo plus that way. So again, this is like one of those cards that gets better in the future. And since like a lot more decks are gonna have like more copies of themselves to Persona Ride, I can see this being a very good card just to have for the future. Next we have what color is your wish? Vasha Blanc. I like Washa Blanc better from the Japanese version, but this is okay. She's a grade 2 10k, and she has 2 abilities. Auto 1 is unit. When this card is discarded from your hand during your ride phase, cost Soul Boss 1, put this card on the bottom of your deck and draw a card. And the second ability is Auto, when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle. If you Persona Roll this turn, cost Camros 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets Vanguard Continuous Vanguard. All of your front row units get power plus 5,000 to the end of turn. So we've been seeing this played in Wilista to be able to give your front row extra power, since you're able to since you're able to Persona Ride and be able to make your front row hit even huge numbers, I think this is the most useful generic so far. It is. I play tested with Herminia. It does work. It empties your soul. You're able to still save combo pieces. It is just like a very good generic. Like, I think almost most, except Alestiel, almost all the bosses like either multi-attack in the front row or they restand themselves. So you're getting extra power. So like if you play this in Fortia, you're getting like 10k value worth of power from using Washer Blanc. I'm just gonna call it Washer Blanc. It sounds cool to say. And like in Powerful, you're restanding your front row, so this works as well. And it's just a good card. If you're able to get this card or pull it, I would keep it. Just to have. It would definitely get more better and more used in the future. Same as all the other cycle, like when this card is discarded, you can draw a card. Pretty has enough power because nothing beats friendship. You can say that again. And lastly, I think for the generics, we have Moon, Nestling, Fantasia, Adhil? I don't know how to pronounce her name. Anyway, she has 2 abilities. Continuous Rigor Circle and Guard Circle. If your opponent's drive check or damage check, reveal a trigger unit this turn. This unit gets power plus 10,000 and shield plus 10,000. Auto Rigor Circle. At the end of battle, this unit attacked while boosted. Cost soul blast when it perform all the following. Choose one of your rear guards in the same column as this unit and return it to the hand. And the second one is cost remove an Overtrigger for your drop zone. Choose up to 1 unit card will grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your hand and call it to Rigor Circle. So this so there's a couple things. 1, she's a ghost unit, so you could potentially use her in Feltyrosa. 2, the first skill is really nice, just to have extra shield in the deck. It's a conditional shield, but it works and it helps against your opponent that like checks like multiple triggers or just checks a trigger in general. Like defensively as well. She scales above that as well. And the second ability, to be able to return like your booster like in other decks, like your grade 2 or greater units if they gain boost, is really nice. And she also provides an extra attack in those decks. So another card, like another deck this works really well in, I would say, is Lofa. She's a grade 3, and you give boost to your rear guards anyway in the back row. You can bounce back like your main phase girl that gets like free power and draw. You can bounce back your Melties, which since Melty is reprinted in this set, I think like it's a lot easier to build a deck now. I'll say Melty was mandatory in Lofa, but anyway, this card is just, I think it's a good card. We haven't been seeing much decks play it just because there's other cards that you rather value, right? You have Washer Blanc, and you just have like other good staple cards for the deck. There was a list that Reina and Kairi, but I don't even think she's really needed in Kairi other than bouncing back your La Plume and your Eileen's. So she does combo with Yuika to bounce both in the back. So you can use Yuika, bounce her back, and then use her to bounce Yuika back. So I never had good luck with Lofa. Yeah, I never had either, but I'm gonna try testing more with Lofa. Next, I guess we just go over like the fusion cards, I'll call them. These are going to be relatively short because I don't have much to say about them. Hey Amagi, welcome to the stream. I'm just talking about the Lyrical Festival Booster with, well, I'm not going to talk about all of the nations just for Lyrical and maybe like the Overtrigger and stuff. But welcome to the stream. Oh wait, I just now realized, it should show up. Hello? Okay. The chat is not showing up. on the actual stream. I was seeing the chat, but not everyone else. Anyway, we have a grade 1 8k, 5k shield, an egg relay full of smiles, Juliana. She has 2 abilities. Friend, continuous rigor circle. If you're another unit in the same column as this unit, that and this unit becomes friends. And second ability, auto rigor circle. When this unit boosts, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Fortier or Medial in its card name, choose one of your other friends, and it gets 5,000 power 10 in a turn. I don't even honestly like remember what I said in my other video about this card, but it's sort of niche. Like if Fortia, yeah, you can kind of give it to your Fortia to get more power. Whatever reason, this is my favorite card of this set. It's a Mario with a giant egg, yellow in the background. I like the design. Like in Medio, you can give power to the restanding Sunflower Girl. Based for real. Oh wait, now it's not showing up. I don't know what's happening with chat. But anyway, I just feel like there are other cards you can play, and it's a turn 3 card. You have to wait till your turn 3 to get the power. There are other cards in both decks that do stuff before your grade 3. At least it doesn't check your opponent has to be grade 3. That's all I really have to say about it. I love Amelia solely because of the Flower Girl. Yeah, she like restands, and if you give a crit to her, it's like really pressuring. But I've seen other stuff that I've seen other stuff with Medio that people have done is really interesting. Next we have another grade 1 8k 5k shield. Do my airy best Ania, okay. She has 1 ability, auto. When this unit is placed on rigor circle by a card's ability, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kyoka or Letitia in its card name, soul charge 1 of this unit gets 5,000 power to end of the turn. I'm sorry, but this card is not very good. Like, in Kyoka, you do not want to call this unless it's for like if you're trying to proc your order skill to call grade 1s, but you have better grade 1s to just draw into. I do my dairy best personality. Maybe it's a typo. Maybe it didn't mean airy, but like sure you can refund your soul if you call with Kyoka, but it's just a 13k. And you don't even call early from Letitia or no, you can call early from Letitia with the order card. She can be a 13k beater, it's soul charge more. I mean, she has more uses in Letitia than Kyoka, but either way, I don't think it's a very good card just because of like how conditional it is. Kyoka you can only call from. Oh wait, no you can't. When it's used placed by a card's ability, if you have a grade 3 or greater. Oh, it's still locked to turn 3, so you can't even call this out early. But you can use something like Melty to proc this skill. You can use Letitia's Order or some other card in the future. I can see it some play in the future, but just not right now. I think it's too conditional. Not that one. Oh yeah, the grade 2s. Next, we have a grade 2 9k emotive emotion Habla. So she has 2 abilities, auto, powerful, which means if you don't have any cards in your soul, this unit is in a powerful state. Continuous rigor circle during your turn. If your card has no soul, if your soul has no cards, this unit gets 10,000 power. And the second ability is auto rigor circle. When this unit is chosen by the ability of your Vanguard with Herminia or Hazoret in this card name, costs Karamos 1 to draw a card. So I think this card is pretty good at both of them. Hazoret probably has better cards, but I think like the ability to draw main phase from Hazoret is really strong, right? I think Hazoret is a counterblast 1 to give your regards the power and to draw a bomb to deck, and then you can counterblast again to draw another card, which is really strong. I don't think you will ever get the powerful condition off for Hazoret. It's a 9K, so she is kind of searchable from your triple R. If I'm, yeah, you can search her from your triple R, and I think it's just a solid unit. You can't target it. You can't use your right line to target her, unfortunately, which if it happened, it would make this card a lot better and interesting. But for Hazoret, for Mini, I think this is a very good card because you don't have to run Teruas anymore. You automatically get the draw, which with Teruas you have to hit. The power is nice, but you get free power already with this. Like, you're hitting less numbers. It's sure it's not a 10K base, but 19K on your first grade 3 turn is pretty strong, and especially have a booster that can just give her more power. Oops, I did not loop this. Okay, sorry about that, but I think this card is like really good. I've been trying to like find room in my list. Well, at the moment we don't have the promo. I would definitely play it. Now I gotta get, yeah, I gotta get that one. But I think this card is very good in both decks. One of the more stronger picks in my opinion. And I think we only have one more card. Yeah, for the fusions, yeah, this one. Oh yeah, Kyrie didn't get one. Yeah, so the last one is a grade 3 13K Go Street Kure. Auto, when this unit is placed in a regular circle by the ability of your Vanguard with Lofa or Michu in this card name, cost Soul Blast 2, countercharge 1, and this unit gets 5 as a power to the end of turn. So for Michu, I'm not sure if this is worth it. Like, Michu's a counter blast to draw a card and you call a card. You're soul blasting 2 in a deck that already needs its soul. Now you can have a healthy soul and just use it just to get the free soul blast 1 draw and have an ATK beater. But I think you have better cards to play other than this. That's just my thought, because you only run one of your set order. You don't run multiple set orders to get multiple soul charges. So I think it'd just be a waste of space in Michu. Ilofa, it actually solves a counterblast issue, especially if you're using Melty over and over again. It is Soul Blast 2, which is kind of heavy, but she's a grade 3, as well as she works really well when you call her during the battle phase. Dude, they excluded Kyrie, says she's got a grade 4. I think Kyrie got a grade 4 with her Mini and Fortia. I think they're just gonna put a new grade 3 Kyrie with both of them. Like, there's still a lot of triple R's that they haven't like revealed yet, and there's still room to have like another boss. So I'm thinking Kyrie's gonna get a dress up for a new grade 3. But in this set, I think it's probably just because of Kyrie having a grade 4 already. Yeah, like, I honestly think it's just because she has a grade 4 already. She was pretty, like, not dominant, but played a lot during set 2. We got set 3 at Festival Collection. I'm pretty sure she's going to get her support sometime around. But that is all for the fusion cards, I believe, just to make sure. Yeah, that's all for fusion cards. Now we're gonna go through each one of the girls, and we're gonna start with Ernest Correct for Clarissa. So Ernest Correct follower Peyton, grade 1, 7K power, and she has one ability. Yeah, one ability, which is auto. When this card is discarded from hand, if you have a Vanguard Clarissa in this card name, cost Commerce 1, choose a grade 2 or less card with Ernest Correct in this card name, not name this card, from your drop zone. You may put it to your hand. Is active on an opponent's turn 2. Hopefully you do not hear a dog barking, because that's my sister's dog. So hopefully you don't hear him barking at people. So this card, Honestly, I don't really remember much about what I said before, but since some time has passed, I think this is an okay card. Like, if it's this card for your hand, like, I guess it's okay for your Rye line to get it back, but like, it probably will come to me when I read Clarissa's skill, again, because I haven't looked at her for a while. But I think it's an okay card to get back your Earnest Crest that just been retired or like smacked into. It's at the door his opponent's turn too, so you could get back your PGs. It's got my keyword I need, and that's all I care for. Yeah, it has Earnest Correct, which is really important because the deck did not have a lot of good Earnest Correct cards. I mean, well, it didn't have enough Earnest Correct cards. You just had the 5 and plus Clarissa herself, so her being 7k power is a little weird, but I think they did that because it could work on your opponent's turn too as well. Next, she got a grade 2. Ah, here we go. This is it. Earnest Correct follower, Nasila, and she's a grade 2 with 10k power, and she has 1 ability, and that's at Rigor Circle or hand. If you have Vanguard Clarissa in this card name, cost Countermouse 1 to put this card into your soul. Choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets auto Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks, if you played aim to be the strongest idol this turn, choose one of your Rigor to stand it to the end of turn. So I don't really like. I don't think the attack pressure that is what Clarissa really needed. Like, she already had the numbers. She had drawing if your opponent didn't like clear its board out. And you can still like tempo your opponent, especially at Persona Ride. You have like your Restander. This card doesn't draw back the neg that you do from it. So if you use it from your hand, you're just negging a card to get an extra attack, which sure it can end the game in some cases, but and sure Clarissa does draw. Like, I think the old one draws either more or like equal to the new one, but I feel like, well, okay, a boon is that she can choose any unit, right? So if you're playing like a generic card or something in the future that gets like a crit or something, you could just restand it. But this one is like, I don't think it's that good. Like, I will say it's probably going to be played because she has Earnest Correct, but for the skill itself, you can't play the order till turn 3, so it's already a turn. Well, actually, it's like a turn. No, it's a turn 3 card. You just won't get the power if you use it on your first grade 3 turn. You can still get 4 attacks or 5 turn 3. It's just not as strong as like other decks. But I think this card is a bit weird. They might support more for Earnest Correct in the future. But at the moment, I don't see this card as being very good. I see some people playing it just for like that extra push to close the game and her having Earnest Correct. But other than that, I don't see anything else for the card. But it has future potential. Last we have Clarissa herself. She's a grade 3, 13k. Holy Egg Festival Pyrrhix Committee Chief Clarissa. So she has adjustability. She has the same name as the old Clarissa. And she has 2 abilities. So, okay, Act, Vanguard Circle, once a turn. If you Persona Roll this turn, this cost may be paid with Soul Blast 1. Cost, discard a grade 3 card with Clarissa and its card name from your hand. Search your deck or drop up to 1, aim to be the strongest idol, reveal it, put it into your hand, and if you search the deck, shuffle the deck. And auto, Vanguard Circle once a turn, draw 2 cards, and all your front row with Earnest Correct in their card names gets 5 as power to the end of the turn. So I haven't seen much of Clarissa. I haven't even seen like, I might have saw like 1 CFA match with this deck. So the ability to be able to get your order back is really strong for this deck. I don't think the deck itself is that particularly strong. Oh, I'll show you some Clarissa. Once I get my Felty, we'll fight. But I hate like going to get something like Jet or Ava, because they're only like removing 1 or 2 cards. But Gandiva wipes your entire board, and Gandiva is a very strong deck. Overall, I think Clarissa is like a very, like, when Gandiva gets hit, or if it ever gets hit, or like choice restrictor or something that lowers his play rate, I think Clarissa will have a chance. Just because, yeah, her early game is not great. She has a non-existent early game anyway, but she scales high enough on turn 4 where your opponent is going to get punished for leaving a board. And they can even get in this meta at the moment. I don't think she's very good. As a whole. That doesn't mean she's bad. I think it's just because the meta is just Gandiva and it just wipes your whole board. So next we're going to talk about, wait, that's not it. Oh yeah, Alestiel. I want to talk about Alestiel next. So we have Sing With You Seraphel. Grade 1, 8k. When this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, one moment. Okay, when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, choose a grade 3 card with Alestiel in its card name for a drop zone to put it at the bottom of your deck. And it's connected for a second. Okay, are we back? Hello? Okay, it says it connected back again. So the new Alestiel allows you to get like a Alestiel not named herself and ride it from your deck. So she acts as like another booster for that to add more power. But the first ability to be able to put Alestiel from your drop zone back into your deck is very strong. It's periodically dropping. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. If it's dropping sometimes. That'll improve with the future. So sorry about that. But her ability to be able to just put Alestiel back from the drop zone to your deck is really strong, because you're able to just search her out. You can bounce it back with other effects and cards in the future, and just to be able to tutor out Alestiel, which is really strong. So if you're not using for the second effect, the first effect is definitely well needed. Also, you could technically discard a Alestiel if you need to like ride up, and I see. You could technically discard a Alestiel, put it back to the bottom of your deck, and just get it back anyway. So I think it's a good card. Now for the grade 2, she's 10k, 5k shield. Enfolding Faunus Alestiel? I can't with these lyrical names. Thanks, Docs. Okay. She has 2 abilities. Auto, when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, if you have a Vanguard Alestiel, his card name cost Camelot's 1. Choose a card for your bind zone to put it to your hand. If you put a card into your hand, bind the top card of your deck. Bind the top card of your deck. A second, Black Wings, when his unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose an attack unit and it gets power minus 5,000 to the end of the turn. Now, this card for Alestiel, let's first talk about Alestiel. I think it's really good. First off, she's a +1. Straight up. When you call her from hand, you can almost 1. You don't need Black Wings. You just get the card for your bind, so add it to hand and bind the top card of your deck. You lose a card from deck, but you're just getting a card into your hand, which is really strong. To Tep Alestiel. Yeah, the deck building and like it's a very piece and combo reliant deck if you're playing the new one. So I can understand if not many people want to play it. But the first part of her ability is just straight up plus, which is really good. And the second ability for like, I think this could go for pretty much other decks or decks that would try to use the Black Wind effects. Hey Blush, welcome to the stream. We'll try to use the black wing effects of Alestiel. If you're targeting a restander, that's really strong. Just because it minuses 5k. She's a pseudo 10k if you're in Blackwing. But she could become like so much more shield saved if you're going against like a restanding rearguard or something. Other than that, she's like just a generic 10k. It's a good card. It's really amazing in Alestiel though. But as like any other deck, I mean, if you're playing Blackwings, she's just a 10k shield that might save you more resources later. Still a good card though. And then we have Alestiel, Holy Angel of Blessings, a grade 3 13k. She has 2 abilities. No, 3, sorry. She has the dress up, so she acts as the old Alestiel. And she has auto at the beginning of your main phase. Choose a card from your bind zone, put it into your hand, and bind the top card of the deck. So same as the old one. And she has black wings, auto Vanguard Circle, cost to start a card from your hand. Search deck up to 1 card with the black wing ability. Call it to Rigor Circle and shuffle the deck. And white wings, auto Vanguard Circle at the end of this unit attacked. Cost Cameras 1. Discard a card from your hand. Search your deck or hand up to 1 card with the original name, Archangel of Twin Wings Alestiel. Write it as stand, and it gets drive -1 to the end of turn. If you search the deck, shuffle the deck. So, one moment, please. So Alestiel, there's a lot of stuff to go about this. Her first auto is good. It just still retains that binding aspect, and you're plussing for free. The Blackwing ability is really strong. You're able to search any Blackwing unit. You can search Feltyrosa, call it, start getting your stuff going. You can search the Emule, the girl that can bounce stuff. You can even call like Alestiel to the board because she has black wings. Bounce it back with some other card, or if you're playing Yuika, bounce it back with Yuika, you get Persona Ride. The second ability is really strong. See, that's why I don't attempt this deck. Yeah, like I only know like some of the cards because I was messing around with Kyrie with it. Like a lot of Blackwing cards. I'm dabble with the White Wing side, but I'm really into the Blackwing cards. Like the Blackwing ability for her is just so strong because you're trading a card for your hand to call out a Blackwing card that can either plus you or make you go wash, which is really good. The White Wing ability is strong. It's an extra Vanguard attack that again, the triggers do not affect it because it's a brand new unit, like the heal counter heals. She gets an extra draw. I mean, she gets -1 drive, but with the old Alestiel, you get a crit 5k power, and your opponent minuses 5k. So she essentially gets 10k and a crit on her second swing, and then you have to like re-ride into the to the new Alestiel again to do it again. However, to get both of these off, you need to have Elkiel, which that's the problem with this deck. If you do not draw Elkiel, you cannot get both of these effects. Like, more times than not, you'll hit black wings, and if you do hit white wings, you're not getting as much power from like the black wing effect of minusing 5k to your opponent. You get the reset, but you have no power to unless you Persona Roll that turn. So if you do not have Elkiel or somehow like randomly bind it at the top of your deck, I don't think it's that good. It's a very like you can pull this off turn 3 if you get the right cards, but it's not gonna be as strong as like waiting to Persona Ride to do it. So in my opinion, you can't search Elkiel, thank God, because this deck would be very consistent if you could. If you have Elkiel in your hand, you're easy peasy. You can pressure your opponent. Or if he gets retired by the 200 ways in the meta. No, you can just Feltyrosa it. Feltyrosa takes a card from your hand and puts it in the bind zone. So you could just have it in your hand, call Finale, you get both wings. Or you can just randomly bind it from the top of your deck, like I said. The issue is just keep cycling the Finales over and over, which if you aren't playing cards that bounce it or Yuika, is going to be kind of hard to do. I think she's like, I haven't seen much of Alestiel. I've only seen a couple of people play it, or what I've seen on CFA. It works. I think it's strong, but it's two-piece dependent in my opinion. Next, let's talk about Loronerol. If I can find her support. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Loronerol I have a bit more experience with, just from playing it a little bit. So we have the grade 1 8K Quelling Parade Shinabuyu. So she has one ability. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater bagger with Loronerol's card name, cost Cameras 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose the 2 grade 3 cards with Loronerol and their different original card names from among them. Reveal them and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. Oh, I'm confused up. From Alestiel. If you didn't reveal any cards, draw a card. Well, with Alestiel, she had a grade 2 from set 2 that essentially allows you to swap a card from a bind zone with a card from your hand. And that's why, like, you're able to just do L-Kill consistently if you have L-Kill. And L-Kill allows you to have both wings once it's placed in a bind zone. So, for this card for Loronerol, I've seen some lists play it. Like, Loronerol's kind of flex spots in her deck list, but that'll be later. This card, I think it's pretty good. I'm too smooth, Brang. This card, I think it's okay. Like, you do have to wait till turn 3, but then again, like I said, like, Loronerol doesn't have a good early game, which is fine because I think most of this meta is not like very early game focused. Like, a couple decks can, like, well, Jet is still a good deck, but some decks might try to contest grade 2 gaming, but it doesn't seem like that worth it when Gandiva could just retire the board if it's going first. So this card is okay. Even if you whiff, you draw a card. So at minimum, you draw a card. And at like, yeah, like if you low rolled on your on finding a Loronerol, you draw a card. But you can choose up to, so you can still put a Loronerol in your hand, which is good. You get Persona Ride, which is a good trade-off. I think this card is good. It's slow, but it's good in that regard. Next, her grade 2, which is very strong. Grade 2 10k 5k shield. Sorry. Clear Stream Marulu. So she has 2 abilities. Auto, continuous rearguard circle during your turn. If your order zone has 2 or more face down cards, this unit gets 10,000 power. And auto, if you persona roll this turn, this cost may be paid with Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, cost, put a card from your hand into your soul. Search deck up to 1 saw card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle the deck. This card is insane. The fact that, for one, it's just like, you get your 2 face down cards in your order zone pretty easily. So she's a 20k beater, which the deck kind of lacked numbers for the rear guards, because Loronerol would do all the power, but your rear guards will be kind of like not as strong unless you hit a front or plate fronts. But this is just really good if you're able to get 2 face down cards. So pretty much about like turn 4. I'm not sure if turn 3 is possible, but you get the 20k. And the second ability is what Loronerol needed, a way to search orders. So unless you're me, you would just like always draw your orders. It only allows rearguard power if you're unskilled and don't check OT. Yeah, I mean, I don't think playing the Lyrical OT and Loronerol is that good now. I'd rather just play like the blue OT, just because you get a crit on a rearguard and you're able to get back like, I don't know, a song or another persona ride or order card or something like that more useful. But the second ability for you can set up new Loro with this. Or you can just soul boss one to not like neg a card. So if you're putting a card from your hand to the soul, it's a wash. But the other one's a plus if you persona ride, which I'm pretty sure you will find your persona ride since Loro still has Equina. You can still draw a bunch of cards. The Loro ride line sets up 2 songs, but yep, you set up 2 songs, but you need to have them face down, so you have to sing them. But this card is really good. The great one, yep. And we have Sing With Me Loronerol, grade 3, 13k. She has two abilities actually, but her dress up keyword, she acts as the old Loronerol. And her first ability is auto when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 3 or less unit card from among them and call it to Vanguard Circle. Shuffle your deck. And the second ability is auto when this unit attacks a Vanguard. Choose up to 1 face up song card from your order zone and sing it. If your opponent's grade 3 or greater, soul boss 1 grade 3 card with Loronerol in this card name. It's in the end of that battle, this unit gets dry +1 and your opponent cannot call sentinels from hand to Guardian Circle. So first off, the first ability is free. It's like honestly why I played the deck a couple of times. I'm like, this effect is so free. It's just so fun to use. You look at the top 5. Oh look, I'll call Equina. I'm just gonna draw cards now. Call Yuika. Yeah, I'm just gonna bounce something. If you have Yuika in your deck, call your great. Oh, you can't. Yeah, you can call your grade 3. Bounce it back. Okay. Sorry, it got disconnected just for a slight moment. But I'm still here. Hello? Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Now, the first effect is just free. On place, call something is good. It's really good. I like it. Mediocre. Welcome, bros. Welcome to the stream. Again, I apologize for any hiccups. It wasn't like this when I was test streaming, but her second effect is interesting. Like, for one way you attack, you get a free. Okay, you can sing for free, but the difference between this and the other Loro, you could draw your main phase. This is draw in battle phase, which it kind of sucks, only slightly. Some other cards work better in battle phase. I just can't remember the songs right now, but this kind of conflicts with, like, I mean, it doesn't conflict that much with the snow order, that much. But it's still, like, not a good card that you want to use the snow order with. I could be blanking because I haven't played in a while. But this card, I think it's a good backup for, like, if you don't find your old Loronerol. You can still, like, pressure your opponent to commit a lot more cards than they need to. Sure, she sings for free, but whenever I sing, people charge me money. I know, right? So with Loronerol, like, the extra drive is, like, really nice because you're able to add more cards to your hand. Your opponent, they can still use Sanctitude, but that's the Sanctitude out from your bigger Loro play if you're stuck on this Loro. And I think this card is, like, really good. It's not, like, as meta-defined as the old one, because I think the old one is just better, like, as a late game option. But this is, like, a very good, like, ride, like a ride line card to put in your ride line. You don't want to have old Loronerol as your main ride line target grade 3, just because it's so slow. This one actually does stuff earlier and a bit faster than the old one. So with that being said, I think Loro is, like, I think she's kind of, like, not really looked into that much, just because she's not Wilista for one. Her early game is not as great, but it's not like the meta is super early game focused. And also she could just catch people off guard. Like, you get 2 crits, win the game, and she still has all of her like old cards are good. You have your counter charger for free. You have Equine that is basically arcs on legs that attacks. You have your snow restanding order. You still filter, you still draw. She still has her old stuff. Now, against Gandiva, you could just lose all of your board, but you just don't commit cards that early. Like, if you need to search your your songs, yeah, you call your cards. But other than that, you would just like not play as much rear guards, and Gandiva can't draw as much. They'll have to draw into the out, which is either sorry, they'll have to draw into the out, which is just Sanctitude. Gotta pace it properly. Yeah, like, you have to pace it properly against Gandiva. Like, it's a slower deck that revs up too, but also, like, if they don't find their pieces, like, this happened against me with playing against Brawls and CFA. There were times where he just didn't find pieces because either A, he didn't have Harvest, or B, he just couldn't draw cards because I didn't call much. Like, I want to wait until turn 4 anyway, so just keep cards in my hand, guard his attacks, and if he's like at 3 damage, I can try to pressure him with a crit with either with this Loro or the old Loro. And when he wastes his cards, he will, like, if he does survive, his hand will be really low, and he will have to draw Best Harvest again to try to like recover his hand. So I think Loro's an okay pick. Next, let's talk about obviously the winner of the set, Wilista. So she has a new order, which is a great one, crossing Illumirays. She has 2 abilities. Auto continues during this fight. This card is also regarded as True-Hearted Ruby and Everlasting Sapphire. Play this if you have a Vanguard with Wilista in its card name. Put this card into your soul. Draw a card. Choose one of your Vanguards, and it's in the end of turn. It gets power plus 5,000, and if your opponent is grade 3 or greater, it gets auto Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks, cost Counterboss 1 is Soul Boss 1 card with grade 3 Wilista in its card name. Wait, was that and not or? No, it's and. It counts as 2 orders. It counts as True Hearted Ruby and Everlasting Sapphire. So it's 2. Choose one grade 3 Wilista in its card name, and choose one of your rear guards is stand it. You cannot play orders this turn. So this card really it fixed I won't say it fixed a lot of issues, but it kind of did. The fact that it counts as both both cards is just insane. So there's a grade 2 called Ramona that gets 10,000 power if you played both orders this turn. So she just becomes a free 20k attack. Oh, and I see the whole other layer of value. Yeah, like, you don't have to play the old orders anymore. Like, you could if you want to, but there's really no point when this card exists. It just counts as both of them, as well as it makes like your old Wilista and your new one even more consistent when it comes to, you know, soul blasting them. So just for this whole fight, it counts as both of them. Now you get to draw a card, which is really nice, so it replaces itself. It's sort of like a cycle. Your Vanguard gets plus 5k, which is nice. It hits extra numbers. And if your opponent's grade 3, if you have Wilista in your soul, you can restand a rear guard. The only downside is you cannot play orders this turn. Now, if you're trying to be cheeky to call that grade 3 from set 1 that makes you able to play another order, you cannot do that. I've tried to confirm it with judges. No, this order, like, even if you play it before, even if you play it like before you activate or after, you cannot play another order. So you're stuck with this order. I mean, you're stuck playing this order for that turn, so be careful. But this card is really good, has really high value in Wilista. Next, her grade 2. Grade 2, 10k power, 5k shield. Full marks of Exhilarate Energy Trixie. So she has 2 abilities. Auto, Rigor Circle, continuous. If you play a gem order this turn, and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets 5,000 power. And the second ability is Auto, when this unit is placed in a Rigor Circle. If you have a Vanguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Wilista in this card name, cost, put a card from your hand into your soul. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 grade 3 cards with Wilista and their different original card names from among them. Reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle the deck. If you do not reveal any cards, draw a card. So this is like, it's kind of like Loro's grade 1, except that it has power. It's a grade 2. The thing about this card is you have to obviously wait to turn 3, but I think, no, you wait to turn 3 for you, but your opponent's turn 3, you can only get the power. So at most you can find the 2 Wilistas that you need if you're playing 2 Wilistas. I mean, both of them. So you can set up more cards in your soul, put Wilista into your soul from this effect. So I know at early stages of testing, this was like an okay card, but I think you get more value from just having Ramona, which just gets 10,000 power on turn 2. Is just insane. And also she just gets 10,000 power for no reason. It's just completely free. The deck has enough drawing, searching, if you play your cards right, or you just get lucky. So I think this card is okay. It's not bad. I just think that there's just other options. Like, Wilista had a lot of options. Like, even before, I said Wilista has so, like, she got buffed, not buffed, she got like so many good interesting cards. It's just Wilista herself was a problem. Now she has a better grade 3 boss, which we're going to talk about, and the deck is really good. She's tier 1. So we have Festa Magica Wilista, grade 3, 13k. She has 2 abilities. She has Dress Up, so she counts as Prismagica Wilista, the old Wilista. She has 2 abilities. Auto Vanguard Circle. Discard a card from your hand. Choose a gem card from your soul or drop and put it into your hand. And the second ability is Act Vanguard Circle once a turn. Soul Blast 1 gem card and perform all of the following according to the name of the card Soul Blast for this cost. So you have Everlasting Sapphire. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose the 2 unit cards from among them. Call into a circle. Shuffle your deck. And the second one is True Outer Ruby. This unit gets 15,000 power to the end of turn. So, one moment. So Wilista overall, like your Ryline would get a gem. When she's placed, you can get your gem back if you like somehow used it early or you discarded it. You can essentially +2 on your board for essentially no Counter Blast cost. You get to any normal units and you can plus it to your hand. So you could go +1 in your hand or +2 to board if you have Yuika or other cards in the future. And she just gets 15,000 power. So she's 28. So she's demanding at least a 20k shield. Yes, a minimum of a 20k shield. For just the order being free. Well, why I mean free, it doesn't cost like a Counter Blast or a Soul Blast. You're just putting it into your soul. But it's not even a net because you draw it from it anyway. And a grade 2 Ryline draws it right back. So like, Wilista, this card is like very solid, but what makes her like really good is because she's consistent. Your game plan is to get Ophelia, which is a restander. I've seen people play the cycle card Washa Blanc. You want that in your hand to get more power to your front row. Ophelia to restand, of course, and then her order card, which she just gets back for discarded card from your hand. So it's the cycle. You get to resend the other front row unit. So you're getting 5 attacks, good decent pressure from the front row, especially have Ramona. You can put cards back into your deck. Wilista just filters cards from your deck. You can press your deck even more so you hit triggers more. Like, this card is really insane. I'm just so glad that Wilista is just good. Like, I wanted Wilista to be better. I just said if they just remove the neg 4 to 5 cards from your deck to the drop zone, it will be better. However, this one doesn't give them power, but you already get the power for Persona Ride. You get the power from other effects, and there's cards that just get power just for existing. Because Bushiroad likes keep printing cards that just gets power for no reason. It can be 2 any cards as well. So if you get even more absurd support, it's just gonna make it better. You can call Washablanc from it. Like I said, you call Melty, you call PGs if you can bounce it back. It's just a very strong card. And like the combination of all those generics and just a good draw value engine is what makes Wilista top tier. So I'm very happy that Wilista is very good. Lastly, we have Feltyrosa, if I can find a great one. Okay. Grade 1 8K, Night Sky, Searing, Divermento, Ortrude. Okay. These names. Auto Rigor Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard or Feltyrosa in its card name, cost Camas 1, put another Rigor in the same column as this unit into your soul and draw a card. This is like Dementor. No, I don't think it's a Dementor. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It's like Dever Time Mento? Anyway, if you played Spike Brothers in the past, this is sort of like Gunshot Gloria, I believe. You're able to like put a card to the bottom deck or into your soul and you draw a card. This at Felty is really good because 1, you clear your front row, which we needed more. 2, just draws a card. It adds soul, so it makes Eleanor more consistent, or other soul loss costs consistent. This card is good. Like, you can put any rear guard into your soul. So you can put Felty into your soul. You can put triggers into your soul. Anything else in the future. It's just a good card. I have nothing to say. You can use this on turn 2 if your opponent's going first and it hits you, just to draw cards and clear your front row. The Sigma Felty lifestyle. Exactly. Like, this card is really good. Especially since Felty doesn't use as much counterblast because of Ingrid. Next to grade 2. She's a grade 2 10k, 5k shield. Turami of Grazing Hands Rose Wiffa. So she has 2 abilities. Auto when his units placed over a circle other than from hand. If a Vanguard or Feltyrosa in his card name, send all your rear guards in the same column as this unit, and this unit gets power plus 5,000 to the end of turn. Ingrid is still based, so Auto rear guard circle when this unit attacks. You may have this unit get 5,000 power to the end of that battle. If you do, at the end of that battle, put this unit at the bottom deck. This card is just a free. So if you call it from Feltyrosa or other than from hand, it's a 15k, and you can have her get another 5k to put her bottom deck to clear herself for more power. So she's an Ingrid that doesn't get a counter charge, but she has more power, so she hits harder than Ingrid. It's a grade 2, which is good because you need shield value. This works. Like, this card is like really good that you don't even need to play an Ursa anymore, because your back row is either going to be just Orpharid or some other grade 1 that you could just restand with. This card is amazing. It's just free power, and like, yeah, you have to neg to get the extra 5k, but if you call her, from Felty with this and Felty's skill, she's hitting like a truck. But not to mention this second skill, you could do this on turn 2 as well. So if you're going to get something like Gandiva, you could just call her, swing 15k or hit a 23k lane or greater, put it to bomb deck. Yeah, you're not retiring that next turn, your grade 3 turn. It's a very good card. And Ursa was the one who I plan on replacing with this as well. Yeah. I don't think you would need an Ursa in the deck. I cut her out. Like, she didn't really do much. She was good back then, but we have 2 Ingrids now. And lastly, we have Rano Plumeline Feltyrosa. She's a grade 3 with 13k power. And she has 2 abilities. She has Dress Up. She's Rano of Evertime Moon Feltyrosa, so the original Feltyrosa. And she has Continuous. During your turn, if your soul has a grade 3 card with Feltyrosa in its card name, all of your front row ghosts get power plus 10,000. Yeah, power plus 10,000, sorry. And her second ability is Act Vanguard Circle once a turn. Counterblast 1 until the end of this. Until the end of this turn. This unit gets auto Vanguard Circle once a turn. When your drive check reveals a ghost normal unit or a grade 3 with Feltyrosa in its card name, you may call that card to an open Rigard Circle. If you call this card, if you call a card, this unit gets drive plus 1 until the end of battle twice. So, first off, the first ability, Continuous, is just beautiful. Feltyrosa struggled with power so much because you're doing all of these attacks, but none of them are like threatening. The only threatening lane you can only get is like a power with Inersta, and like if you get 5k to Inersta and Ingrid, and Ingrid gets the boost, that's like your highest lane on Persona line ride. But now you're hitting like 40s to 30. You're hitting good numbers now with Feltyrosa. Also, the big difference, it includes Felty now. Well, I'll explain the second ability. The Act ability. So when you counterblast 1, it just gives her this auto effect that if you reveal a ghost normal unit, the old Feltyrosa will only call to the front row, but this one can call to anywhere. So if you removed your back row, or you just don't have any regards in your back row, you can call a grade 1 to the back row instead of the front row. But obviously her first skill, you want to call it to the front row because they get 10,000 power, which makes it even stronger. However, with the second, like, there's some drawbacks to the second, like her act ability. For one, you have to pay for the counterblast up front before you start drive checking, which means if you check 2 triggers, you use the counterblast for nothing. Second, it's not free. The old Feltyrosa, if you check the normal unit, you can call it on Rigor Circle, get an extra attack for free, and then you may counterblast 1 to get extra drive. This one, you just have to like all in it, like counterblast 1. If I get the normal units, I get the normal units. 3, the old Feltyrosa, you're able to call multiple ghosts rather than just 2. This is at a max of 2. So like a card I played in my deck was Hellwing, and she, like, when it's placed during your battle phase, you can put it into your soul, draw a card, and then I can use old Feltyrosa's skill to counterblast to get an extra drive. I'm building hand, but also I'm going through war cards in my deck to check more triggers, and to get more better units to attack with. That's fine. I'll never check my triggers. then yeah, this card is perfect for you. So like, there are some nuances. This one is obviously stronger, but there are some nuances that the old Felty and this Felty have that makes it seem like, yeah, like I've seen people play this in your like the main ride line. I personally don't think it's correct, just because you could get damage denied. Like, if they see Felty, they're gonna assume you're just on a new one, and if they don't give you any damage early on, you can't use Orfrid, which helps a lot. Instead, you could just plus with Hellwing still. You can still plus with Hellwing with this Feltyrosa as well. However, you have a choice. Either, like, to call it and use a skill, or to call it just to leave it. Either way, you can still get it back because Dealing is such a busted card. So, That's what I have to say about Feltyrosa. I think she's not better than Laurel, in my opinion. I think Laurel has a way better scaling. Feltyrosa has a lot of good moving. She has good cards. It's just not consistent. Laurel is more consistent than Feltyrosa. Sure, Feltyrosa has a better early game, but Laurel still has that, you know, I have an I win button almost, and Feltyrosa doesn't. Like, I play games against friends. There's many times where I think, oh, I can win here, and I end up not winning just because I didn't get the right pieces I need during my drive checks, or just sometimes me the misplaying. So, oh, I did forgot. We do have reprints in this set. So we have Eileen, a very important key piece to some decks like Kyrie. I know I used to play this in Herminia and other decks too that use Eileen, just to look at the top card of your deck. Still a good card. Not sure if it's really viable in today's meta just because everyone likes to target specific rear guards. We have Judith, a very important piece for Feltyrosa, in my opinion. Just because she's a ghost, you could get it back from your drop zone with the Rye line. We have Aura, a very good piece in Lutetia, and just a good piece overall. It can search Sanctitude. It can search other orders in the future. So, I would say, get, like, I don't think Eileen is that necessary right now, but definitely get Aura. We have the Trigger reprint, which we should have already got Bushy Road. We should have already had these reprinted, but it's been so long and Lyrical doesn't get that much consistent support for some reason. We're just now getting them, so definitely pick up the fronts, the draws, and your crits if you need them. I don't think we really need the crit now, but that's just my opinion. Probably on the decks we played. Shame on you, Bushy. And we have Petroka. I don't think I ever talked about this card, but I'll talk about it. So for those who haven't heard, this was a I think a entry promo or a winning promo for one of the BSFs. So this is Relation Waiver Petroka. She's a grade 3 with 13k power. She has one ability, which is Auto Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle that this unit attack the Vanguard, cost Karamos 1. Reveal the top 7 cards of your deck. If all the revealed cards not named this unit have different names, choose up to one of the revealed cards and call it a Vanguard Circle, and it gets power plus 10,000 to the end of turn. If you chose this card, write it as stand instead of calling it, and it gets drive -1 to the end of turn. Shuffle the deck. Power plus 10,000 when riding as well. So basically, if you Persona Road, she still gets a Persona Ride power. You do not Persona Ride during the battle phase, unless there's some card in the future that says you can. But you do not Persona Ride during the battle phase. You still get the power from Persona Ride if you did Persona Road. Petroka is interesting because it's Highlander, basically. It's like, I don't know if she saw Reindeer, thought let me copy her, but in a different way. It's a very fun and interesting card. I won't say the deck is good until she gets a promo, because her recent promo allows her to essentially not waste extra copies of her. And you can play 4 of this in your deck because you could choose between either riding her again to get extra Vanguard swing and an extra drive, and also an extra multi-attack, because you can still use her effect again. It's not once per turn or battle, whatever. Or you just call a rear guard if you didn't check anything. Still a pretty beefy rear guard. Gets plus 10k, which is really good. So this card has been reprinted, and I would definitely be picking up some. And lastly, the most important reprints, we have Melty. Thank Lord, when I saw Melty was reprinted, I was so happy. This card has gone through being like, what, $30 to now she's like $5 to $6 today. I would pay that much just to get Melty, because so many decks in the past or even in the future will still probably use Melty. I know friends who wanted to build friends. I know friends that wanted to build Fortia, And they couldn't because Melty's so damn expensive, but now she's not expensive as much anymore. Yuika, this card is gonna still be a stand on me. It's cheaper now, but I think it's gonna fluctuate in price just because of how many people need it in Wilista. Now, not all decks need Wilista. Like, I would say Lutetia probably needs not all decks need Wilista. Oh my god. Not all decks need Yuika. Yuika, I would say, is a staple in Lutetia and Wilista. And that is all. I would say for those two decks. Because the value of Yuika and Lutetia, you're able to protect your main beater, as well as you're able to just keep soul charging and selective soul charging. In Wilista, like, you're able to protect your Ophelias, you're able to bounce back important pieces. Now, in Alestiel, yes, you can run Yuika. It just depends how much space you run. In other decks, I feel like it's just an option that you can have it in. But other than that, these two very good reprints. It was a surprise reprint, so I was very surprised when it was revealed or like just shown on Twitter. Aura is good. I would get Aura. Like, I'm serious, I would get Aura. Eileen is not as important. Get your triggers. I think Aura is just going to be very, very good in the future because she searches any order. Like, it doesn't matter what order it is. She can search your Regalis piece, which I do need to talk about them. You search a Regalis piece. You can search any important order. You can search your Sanctitude. And like I said, Lutetia, she went up because of Lutetia because you can search your orders, which Lutetia did need order searchers. And let's go to... I'll talk about the orders first. So we have the Regalis piece, Forbital Segregate. It's a grade 3 and it has 1 ability. When you play this order, search your deck or drop up to a total of... Wait, I think it's this deck. Don't quote me. I think it's just deck. You don't search your drop. I don't think you search your drop. But search your deck up to 2 grade 3s. Up to 2 grade 3 or grade 4 units with different card names and reveal them. Call all revealed grade 3 cards to rear circle and put all revealed grade 4s into your hand. If you search the deck, shuffle the deck. You may also search for only 1 card. So right now for Lyrical, I don't see anybody playing this. Now, I would play it Pure Light. Yep, it's a Pure Light searcher. Your promo also searches Pure Light. But for Lyrical, I would play this in Lofa because you could just search your Persona Ride in another grade 3. Like, this is unironically a cracked card in Lofa, but Lofa herself is just not good. So, any other deck, I've not seen it in, like, I don't see anyone else playing this in Lyrical. You can play this in Kyrie. It's a grade 4 searcher because you already have to play 4 to find it anyway. Call your grade 3 beaters. Sorry, you call your grade 3 beaters from Kyrie as well. GGG said we're one step away from. Oh, we're about to get promos. Nice. But yeah, I mean, this is sort of like we kind of have to wait and see card for Lyrical. I know Kyrie can use it, Lofa can use it. Everyone else just like, nah, I'm cool. I mean, you could like be cheeky and play it in Felty just to get like an Ingrid out, but like I don't think that's worth it. But yeah, it's a cheeky card, I would say. Next we have another grade 3. This is a Blitz order, Evergreen Transfer. So play this with Soul Blast 1, which is the cost. Choose one of your units, and he gets power plus 25,000 to the end of that battle. Choose one of your vanguards, and he gets continuous vanguard circle. All your opponents' power 100 million or greater units get critical -1 to the end of turn. So obviously I haven't seen much people play this in Lyrical. It's just, I think this card is just very good, unless you're Herminia and you suffer because you have no soul. But I think it's a good card. A 1-card 25k shield, even though you do have to pay for a Soul Blast. And if your opponent checks the Overtrigger, you're able to just negate it. Yep, it's an O-Tree negator, pretty much. Even for the Brant Gate one, because it converts the critical to, I mean, I think it's like a ruling. It converts the extra critical and makes it -1. It's something. I forgot what it does. Like, it's a specific ruling, but it does work against the Brant Gate Overtrigger. So, I'm not sure if it works against like extra critical units on the rearguard circle, but it does like affect the Brant Gate Overtrigger. Next we have the Overtrigger. So we have Spiritual King of Ignation Valant. So obviously it's an Overtrigger. So when you check, you get 100 million power. And you activate the additional effect if you checked it. So choose one of your stand rearguards, and he gets auto rearguard circle once a turn. At the end of battle, this unit attacked, stand his unit. It's in the end of turn. If you not choose a card, draw a card, and choose a card from your hand and call it to rearguard circle. So this card is everyone's I want card. It's basically a stand trigger if you have stand rearguard. In Lyrical, I've seen, I don't think Wilista plays it. I've seen like, well, I see like I don't think I've really seen it. I've just seen blue Overtrigger, or just a Lyrical Overtrigger. But it's some decks like, I guess you could give it, play it in Herminia to restand, you know, your other stood rearguard, or just give it to like decks that have like restanding rearguards, as long as it doesn't need a Vanguard to attack, like Meteor. This Overtrigger, you also just get a multi-tap from hand, so this could work with Kyrie as well. Even if you don't choose a stand rearguard, you just call a card from your hand. It doesn't get the power though. I don't think. Like, it doesn't get the power, but you still get extra attack and you draw a card. So, it's a good Overtrigger. I'm not sure which decks will prefer this over like the Lyrical and blue Overtrigger, but I haven't really played with this card. I feel like it's like a super woodboard card. I mean, most of the Overtriggers are, but I still think it's a good card. I just haven't play tested much with it. And lastly, we have Spiritual King of Aquatics, Osrosfo, I think. I don't know. Anyway, as the additional effect, when it's checked from a drive check, choose a card for your drop zone, put it into your hand, choose where units, and it gets critical +1 to the end of turn. I love this card. The fact that I checked it, it acts as a crit, so if they no guard it, I'm dealing 2 damage, or I'm gonna give another unit 100 million and 2 damage. And the fact that I just choose a card from my drop zone to add it to hand, you go +1 with it. So when you check the Overtrigger, I believe you draw a card, and then this just gives you an extra card just for checking it. So you're going +1. Choose any card from your draw. You can choose an order, Persona Ride. Favorite is just getting a PG. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna grab this PG I used. For Lyrical decks, I love this in Herminia just because you get so many drive checks. Put the crit on your restanding drive checking rearguard, and now I secret 100 million power. Get my Persona Ride back. Get PGs back. This could work with Meteor as well. Just give, you know, your restanding rearguard just extra crit, or another rearguard just a crit. So now your front row sort of has a crit. Yeah, like checking this when they're at 4, this acts as like a 8th crit if you're running 8 crits. So I'm a knife crit. It acts as a knife crit, so you're able to critical more. So that I'm like, that's also the reason why I like this one. Like the other one, yeah, you restand, you get an extra attack. This one's just an extra crit in your deck. Like it makes it so that if you're not running a lot of crits, you're adding one extra additional crit. That acts as like a draw trigger and a heal trigger. It's like almost an Omni trigger, except that doesn't boost your front row. But regardless, this is my favorite Overtrigger. Like, not of all Overtriggers, just for the like the generic ones. I like the blue one more. And I believe we are finally done we'll talk about all the cards for Lyrical Monasterio. It's been about an hour and 30 minutes. I didn't think it would take that long. But as I usually do at the end of these, I give my thoughts on overall the deck. Since it's been like a while for Japan, since I had these cards and play tested, we see results. Give my honest opinions about the deck. So we'll start with Clarissa. I probably already said it before. I think Clarissa she has an interesting kit. She has decent cards. It's just the meta that she's in. Gandiva just absolutely destroys it. If Gandiva did not exist, I think Clarissa would be up there next to Loronerol. Just because she's consistent, especially with her support. You're able to get your order with the old one. You're able to draw cards. Even if you don't like get the new Clarissa, you're still able to draw cards. And you can draw into the stuff you need. And if you needed to play like a way to search her, we have like 2 searchers for Clarissa. And we have more ways to recycle your order. You have constant board wipe presence and just drawing a bunch of cards. You can win by out-tempo your opponent, but because Gandiva just says no, Clarissa is not going to be like a meta contender. Now, she could probably do well against other decks, I assume. But in the top meta, I don't think it's going to work. I'm still going to have fun with it. Yeah, and that's the most important thing. Like I said, I don't think she's that bad. It's just in the meta we're in right now. It's just like, it's really just Gandiva is just saying no. Like, I think she would do well against like Ava, Jet, and like other decks because their back row is really important. She could just target the back row and say, well, you lose those cards. Plus, I draw 2. So have fun recovering those cards back. Alestiel. Alestiel, I haven't played. Like I said, I haven't really seen much. I think Alestiel is good if you get your cards right. It feels like when I see Alestiel and read her cards to see what she does, it makes you remind me of Forestcraft from Shadowverse. Like, you kind of have to draw your pieces in order to do what you want to do in the deck. Like, the most optimal way to like win with her is, of course, get your black and white wings, restand Alestiel, have all your multi-attackers and all this power and beat your opponent. But I feel like if you don't draw Elkiel, the deck just falls apart, I feel. Yeah, it can stall, it can kind of like get some advantage just because by the cards you play in your deck, but most of the lists that were played like in the first like 2 to 3 weeks, it was all just focused on this hyper combo. And I think the deck would do well against like other decks. Like, it doesn't have an early game, but you also just get free value just from binding cards from the top of your deck. It has a good ceiling. I just feel like it's just not as consistent as like Loronerol or Wilista. I mean, I don't think the other decks will ever be as consistent as Wilista, but I think Alestiel's okay. She's definitely better than Clarissa at the moment, but she's not as consistent as Clarissa. Loronerol, personally, I think she's probably like top 2, top 3, if not tied for second. Loronerol already has an insane kit. Like, she has a lot of good units. Her issue is just that she was too slow. They kind of band-aided this issue by allowing her to plus early while Slander. they kind of band-aided this issue by allowing her to do something on turn 3, and if you don't get the old Loronerol, you could still do her like Sun Restrict, but it's just not as powerful, which is fair. You get an extra drive, so it's an extra plus to hand and extra like drive check pressure. You can still do Laurel things. It's just not as assertive as it was when she dropped. Which you still want to play old Laurel in this deck because she's still good. Just to close out games and to put so much pressure on your opponent. Her grade 2 absolutely fixed the deck. People will not find their snow order and lose. So now you have a way to get your snow order. Unless you're me, just draw all your orders. You're like, wow, I have no way to flip them back down. I flipped them back up so I can sing them again. I think Laura will go ways for you. Just be conservative against Gandiva and, you know, play your cards right against the other decks. Wilista. Honestly, like, when I first saw the card, I think she was the first one revealed. I think. I don't remember. But Wilista, I knew she had potential. I'm like, these skills don't seem amazing. But, like, at first glance, I thought. But it's so consistent, and it doesn't really cost any counterblast, and it sort of just fuels itself. It's a good oil machine. Let's see, like, what happens later on. While a lot of people were saying, oh, Wilista is not that good. Can it not do this now? Okay, it's back. Again, I'm sorry for the drops. I'll be almost done shortly, so you won't have to experience any more drops. But yeah. Wilista, good deck, good card, always have faith. And she's tier 1 for a reason. So. And lastly, we have Feltyrosa. As much as I like Feltyrosa, like, I guess as a unit, the deck was always kind of like just RNG to me. And it's still RNG. However, they're making the payoff better, which I could appreciate. At first, the payoff was not worth it. For you playing a deck that, like, oh, I hope you get your ghost unit. It would be a shame if you check 2 triggers. Like Bastion. But this one, if you do check it, you do still get your drive checks. If you check your ghosts, you still get your drive checks. And you can still pressure your opponent. You're 5-0 us that day. Your RNG is crap. To be honest, like that day, I just got like I felt like I just got really lucky, like with the matchups that I had that day. Especially playing against you twice. That last match, like I honestly thought I was just gonna lose. But I don't even know how I like won that day. That was like my first time ever playing at a tournament in real life and just being around actual people and playing. I've always played like card fight area and stuff like that and remote fights, but Feltyrosa, she's still RNG. I still love hitting 2 triggers on my drive check while my opponent PGs. But the deck, I will say it's like 3rd or 2nd depending who you talk to. Oh, don't run Wilista's Ryline. Don't do it. If you're trying to turbo, you will get punished. Unless you just high roll to high heaven. You will get punished. I tried it. It does not feel good. Your early game is worse than just running the Felty Ryline. Because you can't get your PGs back. You can't aggro your opponent early and not get punished. I mean, you can't. Yeah. You can't aggro your opponent early and not get punished. You just lose so much value. Okay, is it back? Okay. Sorry, but one that came to participate, to watch and listen. I really appreciate it. Anyone who's listening to the future, I will be streaming more. Try to stream more consistently. for you guys, and hopefully you will continue to support me, and I'll continue to do my best for all of you. So with that being said, I'm Zenarion, and I'm signing off.